everyone. My name is Cody Simmons. I'm the co-founder and CEO of DermaSensor. We've commercialized the first FDA-cleared automated skin cancer diagnostic for use by all 1 million physicians in the US. Our $40 million in investment raised to date includes VCs and prominent medtech entrepreneurs and executives like Dr. Maurice Ferre, who's built $2 billion plus companies here in the Miami area. So let's talk a bit more about skin cancer. Skin cancer is the most common cancer in the United States. There's over 3 million Americans diagnosed each year. My mother was one of them, fortunately with early stage melanoma. Over a decade ago, I had my first biopsy at the age of 15, having grown up playing tennis in Florida. However, only 8% of Americans that are at risk for skin cancer are actually screened annually like they're supposed to. Primary care providers are relied on as the front line of defense for detecting skin cancer, but their performance is far below dermatologists because by definition, they are generalists, they're not specialized in dermatology. So the big public health and big market opportunity has been providing these hundreds of thousands of frontline providers with a quick, easy to use tool to improve their detection and diagnosis of skin cancer. For the first time in America, with our device, you can now ask your doctor about a suspicious mole, and they immediately, non-invasively test it for skin cancer using this. That has never before been possible in medicine. The standard of care has always been the clinician eyeballing it, right? You point at a mole, oh yeah, I'm concerned, or no, I think it looks okay. That's what's been done for a century. And subjectively deciding what to do. So now it can immediately be tested by your family doctor, internal medicine, OBGYN, NPs at CVS Minute Clinic can test your lesion for skin cancer right away. We're FDA cleared, commercial sales began last year in May, right after clearance. Primary care physicians have a both clinical and financial incentive to start better detecting and testing for skin cancer. 2 of our many published studies showed that the device head-to-head is as accurate as in-person dermatologist diagnostic performance and sensitivity. Is it clicking? There we go. Okay, so workflow is very easy. The entire process takes less than 30 seconds. The xenon lamp pulses light into the tissue, taking 1 millimeter optical tissue samples. So you take a few samples of the lesion. The device analyzes, the algorithm analyzes 47 different wavelengths, we see in 3 wavelengths, of light, analyzes that data, and provides an immediate result. Our pivotal study with over 1,000 patients, 22 study centers led by Mayo Clinic, showed that the likelihood of having cancer for the 0 to 10 output ranged from 3% for a score of 0 to 61% for a score of 10. So that's the power of the tool. You get an immediate quantitative probability for skin cancer risk. That's never before been possible. We've completed 15 studies in total. These 6 published studies here were the core part of the FDA submission. In short, they show head-to-head the device is as accurate as an in-person dermatologist assessment, superior to primary care performance, and the last 2 are that PCPs using the device outperform PCPs not using the device. We've been covered in dozens of top media outlets, including Forbes, Reuters, Stat, 2 publications just in Nature alone last year about the device. Also in late 2024, we received 3 big awards or recognitions, one of which was Time Magazine Best Invention of the Year. We're on that list. Our TAM is $3 billion in annual recurring revenue for the US market alone. And our unit economics are very attractive with device COGS of only $1,500. And so we estimate gross margins around 88% with our recurring subscription model. And that LTV to CAC will be around 5 to 1. Obviously, we just began sales mid last year, so don't exactly know lifetime value yet. We've had a strong first few months of commercial traction. We've signed 3 health systems, which normally take a very long time, with many more in the contracting phase. We're signing 1 new private practice a day right now. In a third of our sales cycles in Q4, the entire sales cycle was less than a week for a third of our sales. So a lot of individual doctors, they own their practices or their partner practice, they see it, they love it, like, I need to get this entire sales cycle less than a week. We're already at $500,000 ARR, plan to achieve $5 million by the end of the year, our first full year of sales, and we're forecast achieving profitability in $18 million by the end of next year. My co-founder and our chairman, Dr. Maurice Ferre, has founded and sold 2 medtech companies, most recent being Mako Surgical for $1.6 billion. I have a business and bioengineering background from Brown and Stanford, after which I spent several years at Genentech, and this is the 3rd health tech device startup I've been a part of launching, the 2nd as co-founder. We also have great ops, medical, and sales executives. Last slide, if it'll go. Come on. There we go. All right. We've closed on $8.5 million of a planned $10 to $12 million Series B, in addition to a $5 million note a year ago, so $15 to $17 million in total. Our investors include top health tech funds and successful med tech entrepreneurs and investors. Thank you all. I hope you'll join me in our mission to solve skin cancer, and look forward to the questions now.
Great pitch. Can you speak to the production plan? How are you producing the devices?
Sure. We work with a US-based contract manufacturer that has facilities here, Vietnam, and Costa Rica. Our production's currently at the Vietnam facility. We made sure to work with a top-tier, kind of large global group. We did not want to risk commercial launch on not having product.
And bill of materials, anything exotic in there, exposure to tariffs, supply chain?
Yeah, so we have 4 issued patent families that have US and European protections. There are some unique components, but they can be sourced from multiple vendors. Like, it's no, crazy special components. There's over 400 components in a device. Most of those are on the 5 PCBs. Cost of materials is maybe 800.
Congratulations, this is awesome. So, question for you, you didn't mention competition. I know this is unique, first of its kind, but what's the alternative? If someone doesn't have access to this, what are the doctors and the clinics using currently?
Sure. Technically, like you said, technically we don't have competition because we're FDA breakthrough device, received de novo clearance, so by definition, there's no similar device. Practically, I tell investors our biggest competition is dermatologists, in the sense that if you're a primary care doctor, and you can easily send your patients and they'll get into a dermatologist and it doesn't cost any money and it's easy and quick to do, why do you need to be better at evaluating skin cancer? You can basically just refer everyone. But PCPs are supposed to self-manage 80% of their own patients, and probably most people in the audience can relate. Getting access to dermatology is not easy. I had to make a call from one of our board members the other day. It was a 1-year wait time to get in to treat his basal and squamous cell carcinomas for the derm he wanted to see. And help find a new option for that. But half the health systems we speak to, the average wait time is over 6 months. So unfortunately, for most of America, they're not able to access dermatologists. Miami has a lot of dermatologists. Most of America does not.
So as a follow-up to that, so does this device replace the dermatologist's assessment to determine if the sample is cancerous?
It's a political, nuanced question. We're not replacing dermatology, but we provide a dermatologist-level second opinion to the primary care doctor to better inform their referral or biopsy decisions. But dermatologists have really welcomed it. I mean, they've been pushing for decades for PCPs to train more and get better at assessing lesions, because dermatologists get upset when they get sent unnecessary referrals. They're like, what are you doing here? That's clearly benign. Like, they want to do biopsies. They want to detect and treat skin cancer, not see the worried well that show up there and don't need to be there. They like doing procedures and actually taking care of sick patients, not seeing someone for 10 minutes that wasted an appointment slot.
Okay, last question. So I don't know if you mentioned it, and if you did, I'm sorry, but what were the sales at the end of last year? And what are the projected sales for this year? And what are you seeing as your pipeline for this year?
Sure. So we ended, the ARR was around, I think, 360,000 at the end of the year. So it's like 6 months into delivering devices. As of like a week ago, I think, we're right around 500,000. We have a really great pipeline of health systems. So for example, Optum Health employs 40,000 PCPs, 10% of all primary care doctors in America. They're going straight, we should hopefully have that signed in a couple weeks, straight to full deployment at their Nevada division with 13 clinics. If that's successful, the leadership there said they'll help us roll that out to all the country. Like, that could be our entire sales forecast for the next year and a half. So we have 3 or 4 that are big, multi-hundred to a couple thousand devices. In addition to that, but kind of in the background, we are cranking out the small practices, right? 90% of those sales were from digital ads. They'd see on Instagram, Facebook, Google ads, like, oh, first automated skin cancer detection. Skin lesions are tricky. That looks cool. Click on it, click through, get on a Zoom call for 20 minutes, sign a contract.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Milan, founder of ENIAX. Did you know that 61% of the patients miss their appointments? Did you know that 61% of patients skip doctor visits because booking is too hard? And of those that do book, 20% don't show up. This means less utilization of space and human resources and longer waiting lists. Missed appointments cost hospitals millions every year. But the problem isn't the patient, it's poor communication. Best way to improve results is having patients talk directly to human staff members that understand their needs, but that's too expensive. So hospitals keep using call centers and automated reminders with the same bad results year after year. This is why we create Patricia, an AI assistant that talks to patients through email, WhatsApp, text messages, and phone calls, replacing human staff members. Patricia books appointments and answers all the questions patients ask, but she also takes the initiative by reaching out to the patient first. She answers all the other questions, she confirms appointments, and makes sure that patient will come on time or cancel early enough so she can book another patient in their place. And that's not all. Patricia can predict possible no-shows and offer these slots as overbooking to the patients on the waiting list, optimizing even more. Our competitors are call centers and bots. They are both inefficient and synonyms for the bad experiences. We are different because instead of frustrating patients, Patricia understands their needs, speaks their language, and reach out when needed. That builds trust, stronger relationships, and better care. After 9 years of optimizing more than 260 million appointments, Patricia has experience and the best results today. 50% less no-shows in the first month guaranteed, while raising up Net Promoter Score to 97% and slicing down the waiting lists. For every dollar invested in Patricia, hospital gets back between $8 and $10 in revenue. Our business model is simple. Hospital pays based on how many appointments Patricia handles, and we have been profitable since our second year. Our team has experience and ambition to make healthcare better and faster. Today, Patricia speaks Spanish, Portuguese, and Catalan. She helps more than 6 million patients in more than 360 hospitals and clinics across 7 countries. That's more than 72 million patients a year. But she's also fluent in English, French, and German. And we are here today because we're looking to get in touch with largest US healthcare systems and providers. Remember how frustrating it is to wait for a doctor's appointment? Now imagine the pain and cost of that happening to thousands of patients every day. With Patricia, better care is not just possible, it's already happening. Thank you very much for your time.
How does this compare to, say, MyChart, which I think has decent traction here in the US? They provide some scheduling, doing patient intake forms on the front end of your visit, those kinds of things. Would you compete with them? Would you partner? How do you envision that?
We are not competing with those kind of applications. What we are offering is, you can imagine a secretary with 220 years of experience working in a large hospital. And that secretary will be using all those applications. That secretary is using SAP. That secretary is using Cerner, is using Epic, is using lots of different hospital information systems. She's also integrated with the Salesforce. So she can communicate with the patients in fluidly throughout any known channel to a human being, and will be sure that all the things in the hospital, all the process of outpatient care is perfectly balanced, and nobody is losing anything.
I just wanted to clarify, is Patricia a new product of a company that already existed with that traction? Can you go back to the traction slides? Yeah, and the one before that? No, go back. Back.
I don't know. I don't know what you want to see.
Maybe I imagined it, but it looked like there was a slide that showed 280 million cases or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
That one. Yeah.
So what is this?
Patricia started to work as AI agent 1st of March 2016 in the largest hospital in Chile.
Okay.
And up to date, she's optimized more than 260 million appointments in more than 350 health centers where she's operating today. So she's 9 years old, full-grown artificial intelligence assistant.
Great. Yeah, thank you. Just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you very much.
Hey guys, I'm the founder and CEO of Fanbasis. My name is Yash Daftary. Fanbasis is the one-stop shop for the internet's hottest digital products, services, and communities. We've built our platform for creators, experts, and internet entrepreneurs and allow them to do everything to run their business, from payment processing, access to buy now, pay later platforms, fulfillment, course and community hosting, customer engagement, and business management tools all in one place. So why does any of this matter? I'm sure you guys have seen several internet entrepreneurs that are making millions online by selling dropshipping courses or teaching you how to become a real estate broker. Although these guys are making a lot of money, at the end of the day, their businesses have a lot of bottlenecks and are very operationally inefficient. Their tools are all over the place. For example, they'll have their landing pages hosted on ClickFunnels, their CRM on Go High Level. They're utilizing tools like Zapier, Discord for their community, Teachable for their courses, Stripe for payment processing. So there really is no one-stop shop platform, and this takes up a lot of time and operational efficiency from them. And at the end of the day, they're not able to focus on what they do best, which is actually selling, scaling, and marketing. On the same time, buyers don't have a place where they can go to actually find and buy these digital products or services. There's no true one-stop shop for everything, which is exactly why we built Fanbasis. Think of us as the Amazon for digital products or services. We give our sellers all the tools that they need in one place to either start or scale a digital product or service-led business. Everything from payment processing to actually managing their course. It's a true end-to-end ecosystem from start to finish for both the buyer and the seller. So I'm sure you guys are familiar with entrepreneurs like Gary Vee, Grant Cardone, Ryan Serhant. These guys, although they're making a lot of money, their businesses face a lot of challenges, which is exactly why Ryan Serhant invested in Fanbasis. Taking him as an example, maybe he has a customer that's browsing our marketplace that comes across his page and sees a $6,000 course on how to become a real estate investor. They can go and buy that course, pay in full, or finance it over 24 or 36 months to make it actually accessible for them. On the back end, Ryan's team is actually running everything on Fanbasis. His appointment setters are managing and messaging their leads. His sales guys are creating promos, different payment links, subscriptions, offers, or whatever it might be. His operations team is using our platform to actually manage the community, manage the Discord, manage their courses, engage with their platform, and make sure their fulfillment is up to par. And they can also create affiliate systems and things like that where they can turn their community members into their best salespeople at no cost to them. We focus on helping our sellers make as much money as possible and also giving them all the tools they need in one place. And at the same time, the buyer pays for this product, Ryan gets paid in full, and the buyer is able to access the course and community on Fanbasis, creating a true end-to-end ecosystem from start to finish. Our growth has been pretty tremendous. We're the fastest growing company in the internet economy. To put this into perspective, in January of last year, we did about $500,000 in sales. In September, we broke of that $6 million mark. And then this month alone, we're pacing to do a little bit over $25 million. The craziest part is we've been able to achieve all of this traction without spending a single dollar on advertising. It is 100% organic. This year alone, we do anticipate to reach about $1 billion in GMV with $90 million in net revenue and then $49 million in net income. Our team is filled with a bunch of superstars. I'm a serial entrepreneur, previously worked in the venture capital space. My CTO is the founder of a company called Grubber, reached a $500 million valuation. Our CFO is co-founder of multiple different large e-commerce businesses that have hit that 8 and 9 figures mark. And we have a lot of notable investors like Gerard Piqué, KSI, Ryan Serhant, The Sidemen, and Matt Miller from Left Lane Capital, along with a few others. Thank you.
Nice pitch.
Thanks.
How do you think about market size? This seems like obviously many people participating in the internet economy, but only so many reach a certain scale where a tool like this would make sense. At least that's the way it seems.
Well, our tool is for both beginners and for established businesses. Our average seller right now is making about $125,000 per month. The market size is at the bare minimum $375 billion. So we don't compete with platforms like Kajabi or Teachable directly, but at the end of the day, we are able to take market share from them because we provide those tools plus a lot more. Our real value prop, though, is focused on helping our sellers make more money. And we've created a real solid suite of payment tools. So payment processing and access to those financing options is really big for them. Our net dollar retention is one of our best metrics. So within 12 months of being on our platform, the average seller is making about 358% more.
And is that the real core of the value prop? It's the payment processing, because there's a lot in the slides.
It's there's kind of two hooks. It's either payment processing and access to those financing platforms, or it's, hey, your business is really spread across everywhere. You can use Fanbasis as your central business hub and manage everything in one place, plus take advantage of the payment processing.
Really strong pitch. I guess my question is kind of in that lane. So, do you have any major competitors that you're in the current state that you're concerned about at all?
There's absolutely no one that we're concerned about, but there are a few people that are in our space. There's only one competitor that's going after a large portion of the market that we're also going after, a company called WAP. But our value prop is a lot stronger than theirs because theirs is more focused on that fulfillment side. Ours is on the fulfillment plus the tools that help you make more money. So for example, like when these guys create their communities or whatever it might be, they can customize the billing structure to literally whatever they wanted. If they want to do an in-house payment plan, offer free trials, or things along those lines, they can. And on top of that, the payment suite is actually very valuable because these businesses are not able to scale on out-of-the-box solutions like Stripe or Square. Once they get to the point where they're making $50,000 or $60,000 a month, they're digital creator-led businesses, which are kind of banned categories or considered high risk. So we've created our own PayFac and actual payment rails to be able to have full control over that. WAP is built on top of Stripe along with majority of the other competitors in this roadmap.
So digging in a little bit more on that last comment. So how much of your company is built on your own technology, your own rails, versus accumulating other technologies or resources?
So 100% of it is. Basically what we've done is we've gone our relationship with a company called WorldPay to build out our own PayFac. And then on top of that, we're partnered with about 8 different other processors. So we've essentially created a payment orchestration and smart retry system as well, where instead of you going, say someone wants to pay $5,000, I'm sure you guys have seen it too, where you try to buy something for $5,000 or $6,000 and your card gets blocked. A lot of the times the payment processor or the gateway is blocking it. It's not even your bank or your card. So about 70% of failed payments on Stripe are happening because of Stripe, not even because of the customer's situation. So with the payment orchestration platform that we built, when someone tries to charge their card for $5,000 and it gets blocked on the first processor, at the same time, it'll try it amongst all 8 other processors, plus our own rails, to see whichever one can actually get authorized and go through. So that alone helps people recover about 11% of failed payments, which at scale for $1 million a month business is pretty significant.
You've got a lot of moving parts here, but what's the revenue model? Like, how are you guys making money? What do you charge your customers, and how does that compare with?
Yeah, so majority of it is all take rate based. is so basically on average, our net take rate is 9.2%, or gross take rate. And then our net on that is about 50%. So we have pretty solid, margins on both the credit card processing and then also on the buy now, pay later. On those transactions, we're making anywhere from 10 to 12%. So $10,000 transaction, we're making $1,200 for just providing, our platform as a service. Thanks, guys.
Good afternoon. My name's Carlos Flaquer. I'm co-founder of Fly. We're a company that's on a mission to help other companies grow through scalable distribution. I want you just for a second imagine that you've been hired as a logistics vice president of a large retailer that is importing 4,000 containers a year, that has 60 stores nationwide, and that also has one of the top e-commerce in the country. First day in the job, you come in, CEO gives you very clear objectives. The company needs to grow by 15% this year, and you need to reduce logistics costs by 7% and increase overall efficiency. Sounds simple, but when you go back to your desk, you're finding out that the company has 5 different softwares just to manage supply chain, that you have an ever-increasing headcount to be able to manage the more than 50 different logistics providers and the more than 150 different trucks that you have to deal on a daily basis, from first mile to middle mile to last mile. And you're finding out the hard way that standardizing that is virtually impossible. That is something you don't have to imagine. This is an existing case of one of our first customers in the Dominican Republic, one of 45 customers that we currently have, and it's the same case for thousands and thousands of companies all throughout our region that are finding out the hard way that managing logistics is a very heavy burden. That is why we've developed a cutting-edge, state-of-the-art logistics platform that integrates with our customers' ERP to plan and execute all of their ground logistics. And how does this look like? Well, this is basically a process within a company, right? You have all these different steps that are after an order is generated, whether it's internal or external. You have numerous people, you have different teams, you have different operating systems, and just high inefficiency all throughout the chain. With us, and through that integration, we have been helping our customers save between 20 to 40% on their total logistics cost by streamlining all of that process through our platform. That has helped us generate some revenue. Just our first year, we sold almost $3 million. Our second year, last year, we doubled that to 6.6. And for this year, we have a budget of 12.5. An important thing to note here is that just last year, we achieved break-even point by November 2024. And for this year, we're already, by Q1, 16% ahead of budget. The best part is our business model. Our business model is founded on an independent truck driver network on the left side, customers on the right side with contracts signed, which makes our revenue recurring. It's our 20% take rate. It's per transaction. So we are a service as a software, not a software as a service. Our average ticket is $130, and it's the difference between the transportation cost and the customer pricing, and drivers in our network increase their efficiency by 30%. Now, we have additional revenue that's generated out of fuel benefits, so 10 cents on a dollar per gallon that our driver uses. We also are reselling cargo insurance. It's our highest gross product. And we also have working capital financing for more than $600,000 that we're paying on a monthly basis to independent drivers. We're starting in the Dominican Republic. It's a $3 billion market, and we are sitting on a $60 billion opportunity on a regional level. We raised $1.8 million to begin with, and we're seeking to raise an additional 2.5 to aim for our expansion, regional expansion to a second location, develop new AI features, and increase our net revenue to $15 million. The founding team has more than 60 years of experience in the sector. And just to finish on this, I know I'm out of time, but there are plenty of options out there, right? But most of them are niche software as a service, and others are requiring mature and integrated IT ecosystem. With us, with Fly, we've developed a technology that thrives on an immature ecosystem with our drivers, a touchless technology, and also helping companies achieve the scale that they need without having to go into CapEx or managing the logistics network within their companies. We are a fast-paced, growing company that are looking for strategic partners to grow in the region, and with us, we want to unlock greater growth for companies within our region. So join us on our journey.
Excellent pitch. Tone, excitement level, even the props, really good.
I was a bit, but by the time, but thank you.
Very good. Can you give us a bit more depth on what you're displacing today? Because the problem is well understood, right? My understanding is, there would be pre-existing integrations between a TMS service and an ERP system. I mean, this ecosystem is well developed. What are you displacing today?
Well, the thing that we found, the opportunity that we found through pain, was that all of these different softwares for the supply chain only fixed one portion of the supply chain. And what customers are really looking for, and that we were looking for back then, was a solution that could tailor to fix not only the managing of the fleet itself, but the whole service and the distribution channel. Because companies, they want to focus on what they're good at. They're selling, having a store, not having to deal with 150 different trucks, 50 different suppliers. By having a TMS, the company had to still manage the drivers, had to still manage the fuel, had to still manage all of the different components. So you're digitalizing a problem. With us, you're digitalizing a solution that covers all of that and still allows for companies to be able to fulfill their order and at the same time save between 20 to 40% on the total logistics costs.
Great presentation.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on 2.8 million in the first year. Did I get that right? And
Yes,
and
2.8.
6.6 in year two.
6.6 just last year.
That's incredible. How many customers?
We're having, right now we have 45 customers.
45 customers. And what percentage of that 6.6 million in year two was attributable to the top 20?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What percentage of your revenue of the 6.6 million came from your top, let's say, 2 or 3?
It's about 60% came from our top 5.
60%.
60% came before, but most of those that are on the later stage, let's call it, of coming into the platform, what we've seen is that once they come in, right, they start at a level and they start growing with us. We have a motto there that we have to crawl, then walk, then run. And that is the same case for our customers that the revenue starts small and we start increasing because we usually come into one of the, whether it's last mile, whether it's middle mile, whether it's last mile, and then we start integrating within a company. Logistics is very complex and we need to take it a step at a time, and that's been the case with our customers. If you asked us last year, it would be the top 3 that accrued for 70%. This year is top 5, 60%, and we're looking to be able to separate that more in the coming years.
Good. Second question relative to the revenue. You mentioned 3 additional sources of revenue.
Yes.
Is that projected revenue, or do you already
Actual revenue.
What percentage of your revenue comes from those 3 additional sources of revenue?
I would say that the percentage of the revenue right now is between 15 to 20% that's coming from those services.
Okay. Thank you.
No question. And the more that this is the network effect, right? The more that we grow, the more fuel that they use, the more revenue that we have, and the more cargo insurance. We charge 2% of per trip for cargo insurance, and that by far is our highest gross margin product. Any more questions? Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Katerina Kulpi. I'm excited to present you about Happy HOA, a SaaS solution to help homeowners association. Imagine living in a community where everything runs smoothly, transparently, and efficiently. Big dream, no? That's exactly what we are making possible in over 6,000 communities across 10 countries, and we have 800,000 users. And today we are aiming to raise $14 million to scale our operation. Homeowners associations suffer from low transparency and even fraud in HOAs. 70% of administrators still use Excel as their main technology tool. Also, poor communication between neighbors and administrator impact in delinquency in resident payments. To solve this problem, our solution is diversified in three main verticals. HOA management software to provide efficiency, transparency for homeowners association, board members, and residents. This is our software. And also an easy online payment app that processes $120 million annually throughout our users. And we have different features for the residents too. A property damage insurance, we act as broker with $4 million in premiums already sold, growing 15% monthly. The TAM in the Americas is $500 billion, and our estimated obtainable market is $50 billion. It is an atomized market where a dominant player can defend the position. Our business model is diversified in our three verticals: annual subscription, payments fee, insurance, broken fee. We are approaching $10 million in annual recurring revenue, growing for 14% year-over-year, and also 45 positive EBITDA. We achieve all of this with just $2.6 million in investment. We have 6,000 happy clients, and we expect 1,000 more because we already have our first clients in the US. Our US-based competitors have been in the market over 20 years, and they have less 20% of it. Meanwhile, business as usual is still Excel. Our differentiation is the usability, constant innovation, and technology. It's like MySpace before it was eaten by Facebook. We are here to lead the transformation of the HOA industry. Our team, the executive management team, is the founder with background in consulting, software, and back experience. And myself, I successfully launched Happy HOA in 2 countries before. We have our board and advisor, and our principal investor is based in Miami. And we work with 200 happiers together because we want to be the dominant player. So, if you are interested in investment, we are raising $14 million to consolidate our operation and to scale in the US market and reach $100 million in sales. And together, we can dream of a world where people live happily, efficiently, and transparently in communities. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very nice presentation. Can you speak to go-to-market? It's a very fragmented set of customers, as you mentioned, and how are you reaching them?
Perfect. The idea, we are the biggest in the Hispanic country. We have 6,000 clients. The other have 2,000, the next in Mexico, another in Colombia. We think our opportunity is try to expand our operation, but also buy this type of company, and they are available to sell. So that is a one form what we want to do. And also, the idea is expanding the US market because it's very close where we have the best clients because the government push a lot the law. So this is the perfect environment for us. So after of that, we want to try to do a partnership with Brazil, who is the biggest in the America. So maybe we can do something together, and that is what we want to think. We can be the dominant player after all that.
Good presentation. What makes you different from other organizations, particularly in the U.S. that are doing what you're doing? What makes Happy HOA? How does it make people happy?
Okay, perfect. I love that question. Well, I was living in a community, so I have some problems with that. So that is the idea, what I need to do something where the people know what is paying in your bill every month, because it's your place and you want to live in a good place to live, of course. So for that reason, I say, I want to receive the information in my app. I want to pay in my app. I want to reserve amenities in my app. I want to feel I am living in a good way, you know. So for that reason, we say, okay, we need to improve that. And also that start to grow a lot. And I have other feature, access control is very new. So the people can enter the community with the cell phone. And I'm going to give for my clients security too. So that is the one I want to do. A place where the people live happily in community, of course.
Hi, yeah, really good presentation. Having had to pay HOAs, I think this looks really good. The transparency side for the residents, can you talk a little bit more about that and how that kind of gives them more value?
Perfect. Well, I would love to show you my app, but it's not possible. But we have a different features, so the people use the cell phone, and I have a team that is very focused in the application. So we have 800,000 users they use. So it's a lot of people using that, and the focus is easy usability, not something complicated. You have a menu, so you select what you want to do, very easy. And if you want to pay, you can pay with your credit card if you want, or you can pay whatever you want, of course. But the idea is also you can receive the information. If, for example, today we need to do some, we need to repair the building. So I send for the administrator send information, so I saw in myself, okay, I know maybe today I need to use the stairs, so okay, you know more about that. And also you receive all the expenses in the community, so you can check. And I have other feature where you can add the photos. And I think this is very important. If you want transparency in your community, you need to give all the information. Photo to be the expenses and also the payment. And that need to connect the same month, of course. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
My name is Luca Dahlhausen. I'm the CEO and co-founder at Realfinity. And before I go ahead and start the pitch today, I would love to share a bit of a personal story. Well, just like 85% of all Americans, when I bought my first home, I had to get a mortgage. What makes me a bit different than most Americans is I spent the last couple of years working in capital markets, and I know what most don't. More than half of the cost to originate a loan in the US today is actually not spent on the manufacturing of the loan or on the service you're receiving. It's being spent on acquiring you as a customer, so sales and customer acquisition. At Realfinity, we're on a mission to change that and to offer mortgages at a much lower cost. We've built an origination platform that allows existing businesses and agents to embed mortgage into their products and offer it to their existing customers, thus bypassing traditional sales and distribution channels. Now, the concept of embedded finance is not new by any means. In fact, it has happened in many other parts of financial services. It started with very frequently and simple transactions like payments, consumer loans, buy now, pay later solutions, and is rapidly moving into more complex transactions that are less frequently occurring, among them insurance and mortgage. Now, imagine you are today a real estate broker, a real estate brokerage, or a for sale by owner platform or another real estate platform, and you're seeing some of the large players that have the firepower to do this, embedding mortgage. Redfin, Zillow, and the like all today already have embedded mortgage solutions. Now, the problem for the smaller players is there is no solution that allows them to do this without major overhead expenses, major complexity, and a lot of time invested. We at Realfinity are changing exactly that. We've built Stripe for Mortgages, an infrastructure that allows companies and agents to embed mortgages into their existing workflow. And we've not only built the infrastructure, we've actually originated more than $50 million of loans on this platform to date. The loans that we're originating are typically about 100 basis points in cost better than the average rate that consumers can get out there in the open market. So let's talk a bit about how we are actually doing this. Now, our platform is the big purple dot in the middle. We sit in between the agents and companies that are embedding mortgage to their existing products, and on the other side, the buyers of the loans, Wall Street and the GSEs. The GSEs are Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Now, we earn a transactional fee on every loan that flows through our system, and our platform is built on 4 core functions. The origination technology needed to create a loan application and ultimately process the loan. The decisioning engine to decide who is going to get a loan and not, the underwriting component, as well as all capital markets functions, including the funding and warehousing of the loan before it's being sold. All this combined with compliance checks to ensure that our clients can offer mortgage with ease of mind. So where do we sit today? $50 million in loans aren't originated from nothing. So we've taken over 1,000 loan applications to date, of which 495 include full credit liabilities and asset checks on those consumers. So they're full, complete underwritten loans. And out of that, we've already originated 85 loans in the last 12 months with over $50 million in originated volume. Our revenue has been heavily growing since the beginning of this year. We started at about $41,000 in revenue. February was 70, and we're on track to deliver March at about $100,000 in monthly revenue. Our goal for this year is 1.3 million, and we're on track to exceed that. Now, a bit about the team. It's all about the team. I myself spent the last couple of years working in traditional lending with my partner and our chairman, Rob Hurt. We sold our last lending business to Cross Country Mortgage. They're the 5th largest lender in the nation. And we are accompanied by our technical co-founder, Kipper, who actually opened the mortgage arm for Open Door. In the past, he was the lead developer there. And we just most recently were able to recruit our new head of growth, Chris Pope, who was one of the leading sales reps at Zillow, selling their lead program to to real estate agents, and after that led the real estate program at Better. So we're a world-class team equipped to handle this challenge. We're currently raising a Series A, $6 million Series A. I'm happy to talk to any investors that are interested. We're unlocking a $55 billion a year revenue opportunity. This is only the revenues generated by mortgage origination in the residential real estate space. We have proven technology. We've originated over $50 million of loans. Our model is asset light, and we're delivering improved economics to the end consumer. All of this is paired with massive growth potential that's ahead of us. We today are selling to real estate brokerages and platforms, but our system is very well equipped to handle the next level of real estate transactions, which are going to be empowered AI agents. There's no question about it. So all of these agents are going to embed our solution. So that's it for today. Happy to take any questions and take from there.
Very clear. Can you speak to go-to-market, how you're reaching those real estate brokerages? What's the sales cycle like? And ultimately, if you have any data on CAC payback?
Sure. So we started with a very simple thesis. If we can build this for one individual agent and we can make it work well for them, we can do it for larger companies, okay? So when we started building an outbound sales channel towards real estate agents, individual agents. It's a pretty simple target. Why? Because everything about them is public. The amount of transactions they've done, who they are, where you can find them, and so on and so on. So we've built a very deliberate sales vision there. Email campaigns, text campaigns, we have an outbound call center, and we're reaching these agents where they are at, okay? We're allowing them, or we're giving them referral programs to grow among them. We today have over 130 agents live on the platform, and it costs us around $3,000 to acquire an agent. Now, we break even on the first loan on that agent, okay? So just to give you an idea. Chris Pope, our new head of growth, is going to overtake the agent business. He has a lot of experience selling, again, products to agents for Zillow, Better, and the like. And at the end of the day, you need to now go after chunky acquisition on the agent side, right? That's what we're doing there. I just actually last week signed the largest for sale by owner platform in the US as our first big B2B customer. So they're moving about 8,000 homes every year on their platform. People that don't want to pay a real estate agent, but actually want to list the home themselves for $5.99 flat fee. We're going to attach mortgages to all of those transactions for them. They're going to offer mortgage entirely on our infrastructure exclusively. So the next couple of months from here are going to be very much focused for me on acquiring the first B2B customers, building a strong motion in a space, but we're already seeing now, after signing this client, we're getting their competitors to reach out to us because everybody wants to embed mortgage and earn that ancillary revenue that we're giving them. So that's the motion we're taking on that side.
Yeah, really strong. So who are your competitors right now?
Yeah, it's funny. I worked for them in the past. So, on one hand, you have traditional lenders, okay? Think of these as companies that have hundreds of offices in the US, hundreds of loan officers, big overhead. They're not really a competitor because they're based on referral relationships and they have massive overhead, so they can't even compete closely on rates with us, okay? And then you have the direct-to-consumer shops. There's a lot of movement in that side right now. Rocket is the largest player in the space. They just acquired Redfin. They made a $1.2 billion acquisition to acquire one of the largest real estate portals to do exactly what we're doing, to embed mortgage. So these players, yes, we are competing with them, but there's a huge market that they're not capturing, right? Which are all the smaller platforms, all the AI agents that are coming out, and all the brokerages that still have hundreds of thousands of agents, right? But that are not Redfin, one of the 3 large portals in the US, right? And then there's one direct competitor that we have. They're called Pylon Lending. I'm studying them every day. I'm thinking about how I can destroy them. But they're a great company. They're doing something very similar to us. I think that they're much more focused on the B2B side only. So they don't have a solution for agents, which is something that we started with. And that's where transactions are happening today, right? So yeah, that's about a competitive landscape.
Can you just give me a little bit more detail on the raise? What was the previous raise, and what are the terms, or what are the expectations for the use for the second raise?
Sure. Very simple. We raised $2 million at a $20 million cap safe. We raised another $3.9 million at a $25 million cap, and we're now raising $6 million. We have not defined the terms of the round. We're speaking to some of the larger funds that are basically backed by the buyers of these loans, so Wall Street and the GSEs. These are insurance firms, endowment funds that are buying these loans long term. Trying to find the right partner, trying to find the right lead. And the money is really going to be used for 2 things. One, we want to further automate the process of originating these loans. I'm not operating at scale yet, and I'm already taking in thousands of loan applications. These will be tens and 20 and hundreds of thousands ultimately. It needs to be AI empowered to really underwrite these. We're already automating a lot, but that's really what's coming next. And then last but not least, our model is asset light, but we still have certain liquidity requirements in order to get warehouse lines of credit. So I have a $5 million debt facility today. And as we're expanding that, we need some net worth and capital in the company. And that's part of the reason why we're raising $6 million. Sure. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Hi, my name is Miriam. I'm a pharmacist, and I'm the founder for RX Pharmacist, where failing your pharmacy licensing exams is not an option. How did you get started? My friend Mike, he had 3 little kids. His wife was a school teacher. He was so excited to be done with pharmacy school. He had a full-time retail pharmacist job offer in hand. He was working for them as a grad intern, and all he had to do was pass his licensing exams. He failed. He not only lost his job offer, he got fired from his intern job. He called me crying in the morning. He said, I don't know what to do. I need help. Don't worry, I got you. I got with classmates. We helped create these guides. We helped him get back on his feet. We helped him get a job and pass. And he said, thank you so much, but you have to do this for everybody. So this is a big problem we're solving in the pharmacy space. Pharmacists are continuing to fail these exams. Over 25% have failed, and it's continuing to grow. And the consequences are high for these high-stake exams. They have to take these exams in order to get job employment. They have to wait 2 months if they fail the first time. They have $200,000 on average of student loans if they don't pass the first time. The stakes are very, very high. They must pass the first time. So what do? We're a lifetime career partner for the pharmacist. Come to us for online courses to help you pass your exams. Come to us to get job trainings to get that job. And also come to us to maintain that license for the lifetime of your career for 20, 30, even 40 years of working. And we have a 93% pass rate. This is a screenshot of our website. You can see that we serve pharmacy schools for the B2B segment, pharmacy graduates for B2C, and also employers for the B2B. So it's a learning management system that people go on the website and they basically learn through these online courses. We are in 24 states and growing. The key thing of this slide is every single state has their own pharmacy law exam. So we are continuing to grow to cover every single state across the United States. We're in 6 pharmacy schools and growing for the B2B segment. A little bit about the pharmacy market, 80,000 for the SOM. This is an extremely conservative number because this is not including the ones that failed these exams the first time. In addition, we have over 6,500 paying customers to date. And how we compare to our competition, we are a lifetime partner. Come to us to get licensed. Come to us to get certified, get a job, maintain your license, requirements to get a job. If they can't do this, they will not get a pharmacist job. And we have a 93% pass rate. Kaplan got out of the pharmacy market, and we're continuing to capture their market share. So we have a lot of data, very easy to use our data to predict what's going to happen for a customer. This is a very systematic approach with the data. They have to get licensed, they have to get the CEs to maintain the license. It's very predictable for us. And since we're capturing them at the very first spot with the licensing, our customer loyalty is very high. In addition, for the continuing education, that is a requirement. They have no choice in the matter. This is great for reoccurring revenue. We are cash flow positive since day one, zero equity. We are growing with these diversified streams of revenue. And guess what? We're scaling this to optometry, respiratory therapy, dentistry, because they have the same problem. We have the same solution. We can easily scale this product. We're a team of pharmacists and pharmacy students. We know our customers really well because we are the customers. And our ask is, we want to win this pitch competition. We want to use the funding to finish up our solution with the continuing education. We want to capture the rest of the pharmacy market, and we want to go into optometry. So again, cash flow positive, zero company debt, and I'm asking you to please join me on this journey to be the lifetime partner for the most accessible healthcare provider in our country. 90% of Americans live within 5 miles of a pharmacy. Help me today to unlock this profession and help more health allied professionals in our communities.
Very clear, and congrats on the progress, especially being bootstrapped. It's really awesome. Is there a shortage of pharmacists?
There is a shortage for retail pharmacies specifically. It's kind of hard for them to hire and retain pharmacists in that space specifically.
Got it. And then, is there a larger regulatory risk here? You read a lot about professional accreditation and how that's a bit of a blocker for growth and across all of those verticals that you put up on the screen there. Is there some chance that at some point there's some reform where things are not driven so much at the state level and things are streamlined and some of these problems go away?
Great question. Right now, for nursing, for example, nursing, it's part of the accreditation status for the schools that they have to pass and do well on these exams. They are talking about this in pharmacy right now. So what's going to happen is, this is what's going to happen. They're going to require it that these pharmacy schools are going to have to show good pass rates for these exams, and guess what? They're going to come to me. Right now, that's not the case, but that's coming up soon, very, very soon. Because guess what? If this, right now, on average, 30% fail these exams. UCSF, for example, 60% fail rate. Almost all their classes failing these exams and they can't get jobs. These reputations are going to go low. Once it goes to accreditation status, you have to shut down that pharmacy school. That is a huge, huge risk. The CFO of the school will be screaming up in air saying, please partner with RX pharmacists, because if not, we will lose and go hungry tomorrow. So it's actually a great thing for our business that with the accreditation, it's going to change to make it a requirement that these pass rates have to look good for these pharmacy schools.
Really good presentation. It's funny because I have a cousin who failed his pharmacy test. So this is just a quick side note, but I'm just scared that why are so many kids failing these tests? But anyway, so how does that lifetime value work? Like, are they, how does that work? Can you talk about that a little bit?
I actually have slides for this. So our current revenue model, we're selling to pharmacy schools, B2B, on average $10,000 for our contract school size. And this is reoccurring revenue, right? We already have 6 schools signed on. We're going to grow that segment. In addition, we sell directly B2C, so pharmacists, graduates. And we also serve, by the way, I forgot to mention this, pharmacy technicians as well. So we also serve that space too. This is what I'm excited about though. Future additional revenue. Huge, because with continuing education, they have to get this. They have no choice in the matter. They have to get CEs to maintain their license. If they don't maintain their license, guess what? They are unemployed the next day. The business loses because they don't have the pharmacist, retail pharmacy, whatever, In addition, we do also job trainings as well to help them get the job and keep that employment. So that's the lifetime partnership of them with the CE aspect, with reoccurring, as well as the job trainings too. Easily able to replicate this into other health allied professionals. So this is all the same system. It's just a difference in content. All right, thank you so much.
At the Stakeholder Sustainability Index, we create a real-time platform that helps companies to anticipate corporate risks related to sustainability, compliance, operations, and reputation. The problem starts with $19 billion in corporate fines just on 2024. And this has been growing over the past 8 years in 32% on average. To make the problem even worse, increasing regulation on 2024 until now is impacting 1.1 million companies. The problem is not solved. The solution that exists today relates to inaccurate data that different solutions incorporate, and this information is from the last fiscal year that the same companies report. The SS Index, or Stakeholder Sustainability Index, we have a proprietary algorithm that works in real time with stakeholder information in a very cost-effective way. We have been implementing this in a combination of 25 different sources that we find in the internet, plus proprietary surveys created by Yale University experts. So we collect, we analyze, and then we report. The system works. We have been bootstrapping since the beginning. We have no debt, we have been scaling, and we have an annual recurrent revenue of $1.2 million. We have a customer annual retention rate of 94%, and we are working now capturing data in 82 different countries. The market size is huge. We're talking about a TAM of 2024 of $29 billion. That it's growing annually, estimated growth of 23%. To get on 2032 to 122 billion, this is 4 times what it is today. So we're taking a piece of that market, $1.2 billion. The target market basically is companies that are more than 1,000 people. Our buyer personas includes corporate roles, and we are industry agnostic. We currently have customers in 18 different industries, but we will focusing on 3, the major 3 ones, but this could be used in any industry. This annual subscription with a tiered price, our average customer per year sales, it's $20,000. Our customer acquisition strategy includes 5 different initiatives: referrals, outbound sales, inbound marketing, business associations, and partnerships. Our competitors basically are Workiva and EcoVadis. These companies work with outdated data. The data is internal. We work with external data. We provide service in real time with AI, and we have an integrated tool where we are able to integrate the different services of the company. We have global clients that we have been measuring them in different countries. We help them in performance, but also to give visibility. We provide certifications, and this is something important because these are the stakeholders, the employees, the customers, the suppliers, and the community, which are validating how the company performs. Some new things: we are correlating our scores with the stock price of companies, and we have found a correlation with 82%. So this brings a new line of business for investors that we have been talking to BlackRock, and it makes a lot of sense to them. We have a funding team that is passionate and knowledgeable. I'm a Yale graduate, so I was able to pull a bunch of very key executives from Duke and Stanford. So we are looking for 1.5 million to increase our sales. We'll be increasing our sales in 4.2 million in 14 months. We'll be using the funds in sales, 63%, 25% technology, and 12% in marketing. So meet us in booth SS96. Thank you.
Well done. Can you be a bit more specific on the problem you're solving? It seems like a very broad solution.
Yeah, thank you for that question. So basically, companies are not able to anticipate the risks in a proper way. Yeah? The reason is that they are looking information from the past. Now, if you look, for example, you say, we have a problem related to health and safety. Well, does the company say, well, let's see how we've been performing, what's the story, what are the accidents that we have had, or maybe related to corruption, integrity, the same thing. So they are looking backwards, and consultants are doing the same thing. So at Yale, we decided to build a tool that concentrates on present-time information that the companies don't have. That's why we analyze external data from stakeholders as opposed to data that the company has. So from there, we have 53 different metrics that we're able to show the company where they need to work on.
Can you give some examples on where that external data comes from?
Yeah. So for an example of Coca-Cola, for example. So we measure them, the community, one of the stakeholders. They were investing on education for the community. That's something like maybe obvious to invest. And we found that the community needed, in the area that we measured, dental health. So they didn't know about that. We brought to them that information, and they were able to change their strategy. Another company, we found there was a corruption between the suppliers and the employees of the company in one particular area. That was information they also didn't have. Another mining company, we were able to anticipate accidents, people actually like dying in the operation because of data that we were able to capture on time.
Good presentation, thank you. So I'm curious, so like a Coca-Cola, for example, when you went to go pitch them or sell them, did you go to them and say, these are the things we think we can predict or help you, or did they have an idea of what they were going to use you for? I'm just curious how that all comes about.
Yeah, great question. So basically, when we go to companies, they see our tool as an integration of stakeholder data. So it's like a 360 analysis of their stakeholders, as opposed to us having a climate engagement survey tool, a customer tool, to measure like satisfaction and NPS. So we aggregate everything. And from there, they say, well, with this, I'm not only able to have that information, but cross-analyze that data. Right, so in that way, we're able to connect information of suppliers with employees and the customers, for example. We correlate that as we measure everything.
One other follow-up too. I saw that you had those certifications.
Yes.
Right. That's interesting to me. So, where I work, for example, we have like public goals that we need to hit. So, I'm curious with those certifications. How are those going to be broadly used, and that's going to be something that you believe will be a really key marker that the companies will take advantage of?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So we have been positioning the countries that we work as an index. So our index, it's used now in the stock exchange in Chile, Peru, and Colombia. So companies want to be part of this. And what we are communicating with those certifications is that the stakeholders, in this case, the employees, the suppliers, the community, are validating that the company is having a good performance, as opposed to us having an ISO where I comply different metrics. These are the stakeholders that are saying, oh, this is a good company. This is a company that it's taking care of these different aspects.
Can you clarify the output of this work? Is it a report? Is it an assessment? Is it a dashboard? I heard you say it's an index. Is it a public index?
Yes, a good question. So this is a report that we provide with technology, basically. So we have two lines of products to the company. One is an annual analysis, and the other one is a daily analysis using artificial intelligence. But yes, a software as a report. It's a digital report. You're welcome. Thank you, guys.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Jason Davis, and today I would like to talk to you about lung protection, because literally I want every single one of you to continue breathing for a very, very, very long time. I retired from the U.S. Special Operations Command about 18 months ago, and what I learned as I was starting to retire is this thing called the PACT Act was approved. And what I learned about the PACT Act is for the last 25 years, I have been exposed to toxic particulates. As a part of my standard training, living, everything that I do every single day involves particulates and hazards. And what I started to realize is that for my entire career, I had worn a helmet to protect my head. I had worn goggles to protect my eyes. I had worn literally technology earmuffs to protect my ears. And it was so obvious I was missing lung protection. What I started to realize is that the lung protection I had been provided by the military was for extreme environments and extreme occurrences, nuclear, biological, and chemical attacks. I have never had a real-life nuclear, biological, or chemical attack in my 25-year career, and I believe the last time America had a casualty from MBC was about 100 years ago, maybe World War II. And so we have this high-end, full face mask, alien eyes, the big filter, you've all seen it. That mask is for an extreme nuclear, biological, and chemical event. What I needed was daily respirators. I needed a daily wear lung protection device for the lead, the aluminum, the antimony, the arsenic, the mold that I was sucking in day after day after day after day. Our solution is a daily respirator called the tactical respirator. This is our TR2 model. And this is not just a tactical respirator daily wear to protect you from those hazardous exposures. It is also a technology platform. Because what this mask allows us to do, what our current gas mask does not, is we are able to shoot, move, and communicate the same exact way we do with or without it. We can't do that with a full face mask. We have to have daily respiration, and then we have to worry about the extreme nuclear, biological, or chemical event. What we're doing right now is we're focusing on the military because we make things that protect those who protect us, primarily the operators. What we've learned, though, is it's not just the military that has this problem. We're seeing this in firefighters, particularly smoke jumpers and hot shots. We're seeing this in the oil and gas industry, those who work on rigs, those who work on the patch. And we are now seeing the need for this with our police as they are employing non-lethal munitions on a regular basis. We are looking at multiple IP and product developments within the next couple of years. Our competition right now knows that we are setting the pace and they are trying to catch us. And so what we're looking to do is this dual-use traction proof of signal of what we've seen from the market that we need to provide this type of respiratory protection. We know that will give us a 2.6 TAM based on every NATO country on the planet, quite frankly, every friendly country. We think a 500 SOM comes out of that. These are the active government opportunities that we see to fulfill that pipeline right now. These are the key relationships, our channel partners that are going to take us there. We're looking for 3 million, 8 pre, 11 post. I can tell you exactly what that buys if you're interested. Our team has over a century of military experience and one of the best respiratory technicians on the planet. These are our board and advisors to make sure that we make those grades. Ventus Respiratory, protecting those who protect us. What questions can I answer for you today?
Super clear, great presentation.
Thank you.
So it's dual use tech. Talk to us about go-to-market initial traction. How much from defense, how much from non-defense?
Yeah, so right now, I would say defense-wise, probably about 60 to 70% maybe. So lots of NATO countries, Dutch Soft just ordered about 650 of these. In fact, Galvion Helmets, one of our channel partners, runs the helmets. It's part of their accessory as they deploy 1.4 million helmets into NATO right now. So you have the option to purchase it right there. And I'm sorry, what was the second part of your question?
No, that was it. It was just split between defense and non-defense.
We're seeing more police, firefighters, and EMTs start to pick this up, particularly as they do high-risk warrants where they're seeing fentanyl in those areas. So we're seeing a lot of the local police departments and fire departments start to look at them, in Miami too.
And on the defense side, how much revenue do you think you could get before you have to start getting approval for programs of record?
We anticipate hitting 3 million next year of revenue. That would be a 3X from what we have anticipated for this year. I think we would need to start having conversations about program of record for the tens of millions with the JSGPM contract that we'd be going after. So the Avon currently holds that contract up for re-up and recompete this summer. We see those 5-year cycles as our opportunity to get the US government as our #1 customer.
Yeah, really great presentation. I actually really love the product itself. I'm curious about that. So is it, you might have had it in the slides, but do you have patent protection and different things like that? And
We do.
Can you talk about the manufacturing and how strong you are there? Is it American made? Is it what countries you're going into and so forth?
Yeah, absolutely. So our IP is as strong as you can make a design IP. So that's in place. It's currently 35% in China, 65% in North America. It's this little silicone lip that we're having trouble onshoring, but we're planning to solve that with this raise within the next year. CE certified though in Europe, and part of that 3 million gets us a NIOSH certified system so that we have that in the American side.
Just more out of a curiosity, is there going to be a tiered version of that for maybe like consumer use or any of that in the future?
So the TR2 is our baseline product. Part of this $3 million raise is so that we can build our TR3 prototype. Prototype's in session now. What we're trying to do is get it to a production level. That TR3 will be the direct competitor for the M53 gas mask. But this is the baseline product that you'll need for daily wear. Any other questions, gentlemen? Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate your time.
Hi, everyone. My name is Moises Zambrano. I am founder of Bita Wallet. Bita Wallet is the fintech that allows to people and companies send and receive cross-border payments, and we have right now an operation of $90 million per month. Imagine that you go to the coffee shop to receive your favorite sandwich, and when you receive it, is buy it. This is exactly what it feels, the freelancers, startups, and e-commerce in the moment to send and receive cross-border payments. Let's say the next. You are a scale-up and you have operations in Chile and you need to move your money via SWIFT. The bank will take you 0.33% and $100 for one transaction. Or let's say that you're a freelancer and you use platforms like Pioneer, 3%, or PayPal, 4.5%. But this is not the only problem. In some cases, if you receive a remittances, you will need to do a line or wait 2 days to receive your money. $100, 4.5%, do a line, or 2 days to receive your money. For that reason, we create Bita Wallet. It's a fintech that allows to you send and receive cross-border payments with 70% less commissions, but the main thing is FX rates designed for Latinos. Our product, once that you have funds in there, you can exchange your money by crypto that is very useful in Argentina and Bolivia, or you can connect to more than 50 destinations and send your money. Our platform works in app web, and right now we have APIs. I always say that Bita Wallet is like a big iceberg because several fintechs are connecting to us to process payments. Our business model is the FX rates. And with this business model, we get the last year 3.4 million in revenue and 1 million of profit. Right now, we have 480 B2B clients. And the last year, 30,000 users make transactions with Bita. Our opportunity right now is the $42 trillion trade in South America that needs better rails. Our team is expertise in fintech and technology. We start 3 persons in Bita Wallet. This was the photo of our first MVP. And right now we have proudly 54 persons working with us. We want to enter to the European market, United States market, and also have grow in the APA segments. Thank you so much.
So what is who would you say is the competition for you guys in the US, and what unique thing are you doing that your competitors are not doing?
I think we have 5 years working with Bita, and the last year was that I saw the really grow how I expected. And the key was the connection with local rails. Go to Colombia, Chile, Argentina, and have connection directly by APIs with the banks. That is so powerful. Because once that you have connections, many fintechs or many platforms like Uber can process payouts with us. And the another key is how we can do FX rate instantaneously to the client. And we get it in some cases. So United States have the main corridors of payouts in Latin America, and many Latinos or freelancers or people receive his payment from United States to Latin America, and we see a great opportunity there. And I want to say something more. The B2B is the future of our company because B2B have operation every month. You every month needs to do the payroll. And if we connect to the funds of the economy that needs the payroll, we can have monthly users also who's using our services. Thank you.
Awesome. Startups, let me get some noise. So what do we think of those pitches? Love it, love it, love it. Well, if there are any startups back in Startup Alley and you're waiting for the announcements, now is the time. And without further ado, would love to thank our judges here for helping us for our later stage pitches and for all the judges that may be hanging around that judge the university and the earlier stage pitches. So with that, we have the following amount of winners from each of the 3 categories. And this was determined by highest ranking points. We have 1 winner from the university stage, 2 from the early stage, and 2 from the later stage. First, our first winner from the university stage is Smart. Where's Smart? There we go, Shruti. If you want to hang with your best friends Benito and Emily, that'd be great. Now, our first winner, and this is in alphabetical order now, in our early stage is Arovia. Arovia, if you want to make your way back here to Emily and Benito, that would be awesome. And as winners, head here to Emily and Benito. Make sure you have your USB, and we will bring you backstage. Our second winner in the early stage category is Margin. Yoni, where are you? There we go. Excellent. Now, our first winner in the later stage category is Realfinity. And our last winner in the later stage category is RX Pharmacist. Mariam? There we go. Excellent. Well, everyone, thank you so much. We do have one more panel here on the Launchpad stage, and you're going to want to stick around for the top 5 main stage pitches happening at around 4 o'clock. So please do continue to show your support to these awesome startups, and they will be on the main stage around 4 o'clock. Okay? Thank you so much.